Are you confident with the nominee that Trump has chosen, Amy Coney Barrett?
I think that what he did with choosing her is brilliant, because I have only read opinions from people on the left about her. Only, because you can have people validate your thinking all day and on Sundays. So I only read pieces from people. I read one from somebody who clerked with her when she was at the Supreme Court with Scalia, and he basically said that another woman who's now the dean of Stanford Law School and her were the most accomplished, brilliant jurists of that class. And he said, I don't agree with 99% of her views, but you cannot take away the brilliance of her mind and her work ethic and her understanding of the law. And it was interesting, because if you go back to the Kavanaugh hearings, which were just a circus, people with agendas again, and you see a speech by Susan Collins, Republican, Maine. She gave a speech that I made my 16-year-old read the speech from the beginning to the end. And she said, I did my job as a senator. I went and met with him. I went and read through his cases and his decisions. And this whole thing, saying he's, some right-wing crack job, look at his work. Look at his body of work. You are wrong. And she's saying this to the Senate. This witch hunt is inappropriate for what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be deciding whether or not this person is a jurist and capable of being on the Supreme Court. And so, if nothing else, whether it's Trump or his advisors, somebody learned a lesson from that. And they got somebody who is bulletproof.
Do you think she'll, we're 31 days out
33.
From an election. 33 days out. Do you think that a vote will be held?
If there are no skeletons in her closet, and it does not seem like there are, then there's no reason that there wouldn't be an expedited vote. Now the risk is the Constitution does not cap the number of justices at 9. The cap in the Constitution is 15. And that's why during the debate a few nights ago, you kept hearing Trump press Biden on, will you stack the court? Will you stack the court? Why won't you give your list of potential nominees? That's what he's talking about. Believe it or not, he's read that particular portion of the Constitution, because I don't think our president's read most of it. But he understands that element, that if the Senate is taken by the Democrats, they can come in and increase the size of the court to 15, such that the court would only be, quote unquote, stacked and right-leaning for a short period of time.
When's the last time it was more than 9?
Never.
But it could go to 15.
FDR
it's never been more than 9, but that's
It started off as 6.
Okay. And
then
that was back in
the 1800s. And then it shifted over to 9. But again, the cap in the Constitution is 15.
So why has it never been over 9?
It seems like when things become habit, they become habitual. And that was just what it was and how it stayed. And you've always had a balance. FDR threatened when he was in office to stack the bench and to increase the number, because FDR had a lot of his own agendas. Anyways, this is a pivotal time in U.S. history, and we should be paying very close to what happens now, but also whether or not we're going to see the Constitution itself by our politicians be used legally.
What about the whole Merrick Garland argument? Meaning, they nominate him. It was 10 months out. Now it's 60 days out. They nominate Amy Coney Barrett.
This was unseemly. It was arguably the wrong thing to do, but that has never stopped our president or
McConnell.
Or McConnell. And when the shoe was on the other foot, the votes weren't there. So they were able to push back. Right now, they've got the votes. They've got the ammunition, so they can push it forward.
Here's a question for you. Yeah. Who does this help? Is this helping Trump's re-election chances, or is this helping Biden?
Oh, of course this helps Trump. Look, if this thing, you can count ballots in Wisconsin up until November the 9th. There are more than 250 open lawsuits right now regarding the election going on throughout the country. Biden's got his army of lawyers. Trump's got his army of lawyers. They're all fighting these cases. If it's going to be Thanksgiving, possibly, or maybe into December before we have a decision, if there is a chance that the Supreme Court, as was the case with Bush, is going to decide the election, then it's really what's happening with the Supreme Court is way more important than anything else if it's going to go to the highest court in the land.
Why do you think it would help Biden in this case?
No,
you asked the question. I'm saying, why would it?
I don't. Why would it help?
Yeah,
Biden?
why would it? Like, why'd that even?
Why would it help Biden?
Off?
Is the people that are so worried about Roe versus Wade. If there's ever a time for you to come out and show up, this is it. Mm-hmm. You know, if you really want to fight for that, like, you have to realize, hey, the campaign on the left should be, we have to win House. We have to. So let's just say he gets the Supreme Court. The campaign's got to be, if we win House, if we have Senate, and we have presidency, then we can increase the 9 to 11, and we can put in two new Supreme Court.
That's exactly right.
We can. So the campaign's got to change from that angle. So I think this is an opening for them to campaign better and sell it better. There's many opportunities to use this as a way to market and help themselves. Many.
If Biden came out and started to outline who was going to be in his cabinet, you know, he could get people's attention, because everybody knows that it's not going to be just that one man. I mean, that much is known.